Shavua Tov, Agotovoch, Uberuchim Habaim. Mitzvah Shabbos of the first Mitzvah Shabbos of the 3 weeks. And the Rebbe takes issue. Why is it called the 3 weeks? It could have been called, like it says in Poskim, the 21 days. Why the 3 weeks? Moreover, we check the date. Today is Yud Zayin. Yud Zayin has the numerical value of Tov, of good. And the obvious question is, today Shivasa B'Tammuz is good. What kind of good is this? This is the beginning of the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. We will return to that in a moment, and to the answer in the teachings of the Rebbe. But first, our customary story. The story was told to us by a friend who heard this from an individual who was not a Lubavitcher Chosid. At least, not yet. They were blessed with twins, 2 daughters. This took place 13 years ago. One of the babies, one of the daughters, was trembling when she was born. The doctors examined the child, and they told the mother that this is something they don't know how it's going to develop. You have to wait and see. Sometimes it goes away, not so fast. It takes a year and a half, 2 years. But you have to monitor it and treat it. But for the moment, they don't have a remedy for it. The parents got very, very nervous. And although they were not Lubavitchers, as mentioned, they decided that they are going to go to the Ehel. And the mother told the father, since the child does not have a name yet, the baby does not have a name yet, he should go to the Ehel, and he should tell the Rebbe that they will name the name of the baby Chana, as was the name of the Rebbe's mother. And they are asking in that chus, she should have a refuah shlema, a complete recovery. They agreed on that. Next morning, the mother came into the nursery to see the child, and the nurse said to the mother that she wants to talk to her. And the mother really got scared. Who knows what the nurse is going to tell her? But the nurse told her that she saw something. She's been a nurse for many decades, and she never saw something like this. If a child is born trembling, it takes a long time until the doctors can know what it is. It never happens that overnight the child stops trembling. This morning, when she went to check on the child, the nurse said the child was tranquil, the child was quiet, it was not trembling. And she got scared. Who knows what happened to the child? She checked the child was doing well. The vital organs were good. The child was breathing, the baby was breathing nicely. So she says, I must tell you, in decades that I am a nurse, this was the head nurse of the nursery, I have never seen a case like this. She was trembling before. Today, she's fine. As they are talking, the husband came in. He came from shul. And he said that they have named the child, as they have promised, Chana. Moreover, the mother and the father said that because she's named after the Rebbe's mother, they are not going to call her by any nickname like Chani, Chanale, and so on, which is fine and permissible, but they want to be very, very thankful to the Rebbe, and therefore they're going to call her with respect only Chana, as was the name of the Rebbetzin, the Rebbe's mother. As mentioned, we heard the story from a friend who heard the story just 2 weeks ago from the father of the wonderful twins who were born 13 years ago. Rabbi Shmuel to this Mitzvah Shabbos. So the Rebbe says that concerning the time of Bein Hamtzolim, between the straits, Oh, it says, and it's in the Haftarah, the days of Haftarah, Livnei Yirmiyahu, that Almighty God asked Yirmiyahu, Mo'atoreh, what do you see? And Yirmiyahu Hanavi replied, Makel shoked anireh. I see a rod, a stick of an almond tree. And Almighty God said to him, Hey Taftoliris, you so well. Kisheked ani al devori la'asei, because I am fast and I am diligent about my word to fulfill it. And because of that, Rashi brings from the Medrash Agoda that the almond tree ripens in 21 days, the fastest of all trees. Nevertheless, these days are not called the 21 days. These are called the 3 Wochen, Sholish Shavuos. That's also brought in the Taz. Ask the Rebbe, why is it called Sholish Shavuos or Shloisha Shavuos? And the Rebbe answers that you see that there are a lot of good signs here. Although on the surface, the situation does not look good. It's this time of mourning. We are mourning the destruction or the beginning of the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. Nevertheless, it's only externally. In Pnimius, inwardly, there are many signs that all of this is a sign of good and it's destined for good, and it is in the inner meaning of the situation, it is good. As we are going to see in a moment. But first, the Rebbe asked that in this time of the year, we should learn the halachas that have to do with the Binyan Beis Hamikdash. Oh, it's the Rambam in Hilchos Beis Abchira, it's Masechta Midas, it's the Perokim Mem Aleph and Mem Beis in Yecheskel. So let's open up a Rambam. We don't have to go far. It's Sefer Aveda. It's the very beginning. It's in Hilchos Beis Abchira in the first halacha. Mitzvah sasei lases bais lashem muchon lies makrivim behakot bonus. The mitzvah saseh is to build a house for Almighty God. It should be ready to be makriv. You should bring there korbanos. And then the Rambam says, "V'chegigin elov sholish b'yomim bashono," and you celebrate there. The reason I'm not clear on what chegigin elov means, because we can't really find what is the translation. The chegigin elov means you celebrate to him. What does that mean? You celebrate to him? If the Rambam wants to say that we celebrate over there, he should have said v'chegigin shom. And maybe it will mean shalmi simcha eila sediyah over there in Yerushalayim. We do celebrations. What does chegigin elov mean? You celebrate to him? Just as a suggestion, there was a wonderful love in this community, Rav Kalman Marlow, Zichnei Livrocha. And whatever he would say, b'derech hefsher, maybe. So, and he was absolutely a wonderful love. Maybe b'derech hefsher, perhaps. The pshat v'chegigin elov sholosh b'yomim bashono. It's an expression that's a bit homiletic. Drush. You celebrate elov to him, to the Beis Hamikdash. What does it mean? When you leave the house, on your way to the Beis Hamikdash, the celebration starts. You're only one person. You left your house alone. Well, then you go to the road, and you walk a little more, and then you see some other Jews going to Yerushalayim. And as you walk more, there are more Jews, and you open up a bottle of mashke, a bottle of wine, and you say l'chaim, and they're walking up to Yerushalayim. Is a chagigo, is a celebration, and the celebration gets bigger and bigger as you get to Yerushalayim. And perhaps, in the homiletic way, v'chegegin elov, you celebrate to him, to Eretz Yisrael, to Yerushalayim, to the Beis Hamikdash, sholosh piyomim b'shana. Moreover, maybe there is an answer here to a machlekes between the Rambam and the Ramban. What is the purpose of the Beis Hamikdash? According to the Rambam, the purpose of the Beis Hamikdash is there should be a place to be makriv korbanos. That is the purpose of the Beis Hamikdash. You should be able to come to Beis Hamikdash to be makriv korbanos. The Ramban, however, is of the opinion that the main purpose, and in the language of the Ramban, iker hachefetz, is hashroas hashchina, that there should be the dwelling of the Shechina of Almighty God. And he brings the pasuk that we all know, Ve'olsuli Migdash v'shochanti b'seichem, built me a Beis Hamikdash and I will dwell there. Nevertheless, the Rambam is of the opinion that the main purpose is a place to be makriv korbanos. Where does the Rambam say that? In this halacha, mitzvah asay la'asay bayis l'Hashem muchon liyes makrivim be'akorbanos. In describing this house for Almighty God, the Rambam says it should be a house that is ready there, that you would be bringing korbanos in that Beis Hamikdash. That is what the Rambam says in the beginning of Sefer Aveda, in Hilchas Beis Abchiro, in the first Perik, and in the first halacha. Going back to what we started before, that the Rebbe says that there are many signs that are telling us that the difficulties that we are having are not permanent. They are only temporary. Difficult as they may be, and indeed they are, but they are not permanent. They are only temporary. And they are for a reason, and the reason is that we're going to get much bigger and better. That this is a yeridah, it's a descent, but it's tzeilech aliyah, it's for the purpose of ascent. It's not chas v'sholem, that the negative is for the sake of the negative. Chas v'sholem, Almighty God doesn't want that. It's in order to bring us to a higher elevation. And there's no way for us to get to that higher elevation that is destined to us unless we go a step down, but then we go infinitely higher. And the Rebbe says, and there are three signs for that. Number 1, 17, Shiva Osel. No, the Jew looks at Shiva Osel B'Tammuz and he sees a fast. Indeed, in this year, we're going to talk about it soon, the Rebbe mentioned that it's a day later. Nevertheless, it's a fast. However, 17 stands for good. That we should know that the purpose of the fast is good, the ultimate good that will come out. Now you're going to say, what is the ultimate good that is going to come out of this fast? Well, good question. Let's open the Rambam. In Hilchas Tainiyos, the Rebbe brings the Rambam many times. At the end of Hilchas Tainiyos, and the Rambam says at the end of Hilchas Tainiyos, let me close this for a moment. It's the last halacha in Hilchas Tainiyos, and in the Hilchas Tainiyos, Perek Hey, halacha Yutes. And the Rambam says, and I quote, Kol hatzei meso elu, all of these fast days, Asidin Libote Lili Mesa Moshiach, will be annulled with the coming of Mashiach. Now, it's talking to us. Annulled now, Lemesa Mashiach. And not only that, Eloshem Asidim Liyes Yem Tev. They are going to be a Yom Tev, Vimesosin V'Simcha, and days of joy and festivity, and or festivity and joy. And Simcha, Shenemal, Keomar Hashem Tzvois, so said the God of hosts. Same Holvi, V'Tseim HaChamishi, V'Tseim HaShavi, V'Tseim HaAsiri. 4 fast days. Same Holvi. The fast day, this is apostle. The fast day of Levi, of the 4th month. The 4th month, Nisan Iyar Sivan Tammuz, which is the fast day of the 4th month. You guessed, Shivasa B'Tammuz today and tomorrow. Shivasa B'Tammuz because it's Sunday. Same Olvi is a reference to Shivasa B'Tammuz, with Sema Chamishi is a reference to the fast day of the 5th month, which is Tisha B'Av. With Sema Shvi, the fast day of the 7th month. It's not Yom Kippur. The fast day of the 7th month is Sem Gedalia. With Sema Asiri, and the fast day of the 10th month, Asoda B'Tevis. He elevates Yehuda l'Sosin ul Simcha. Sosin is joy. Simcha is happiness. Ol me'adim tevim, and days of festivity. V'emes v'asholim ehovu, and they will love emes and they will love peace. What does the Novi say? You look at Shivasa B'Tammuz, you see a fast day, but that's only outwardly. Inwardly, you should know that this day is going, in potential, is going to be Yehofech. He's going to be transformed. Now, it can't be transformed unless it's there. It doesn't say on any other day. It doesn't say that every day of the year is going to be transformed into a day of Sosin of Simcha. It doesn't say that at all. It says these 4 days. Tzim Olvi, Tzim HaChamishi, Tzim HaShvi, Tzim HaAsiri. Tzim Olvi is this 4 days today. Yeshivasa B'Tammuz, Shabbos, and Sunday. Sunday's a fast day, but Yehofech, it's going to be transformed. It cannot be transformed unless it's there. You can't transform bad into good unless the good is there. If the good is not there, there's nothing you can do about it. You can turn it around, you can dray, you're still going to have the bad. Nevertheless, when the good is hidden, it's there, it's hidden. But you have to reveal it. So therefore, this is what the Novi says. That it's there, the good is there, but it's hidden. And it's only through the bad that we're going to come to the good. And the Rebbe says that in order that we should understand that we're talking about that it's going to be good, and therefore in potential it's good because there is good hidden here. It's not begilui. It's concealed, but it's there. So therefore we have 3 simonim. Number 1, the simon number 1, that's 17. 17 has the numerical value of good. Simon number 2, we're getting to it now. The 3 weeks, not the 21 days. Nevertheless, there's something good in 21 as well. But 3 weeks tells us that number 3. The number 3 is a number associated with good things. And that brings the Gemara. Who said, Almighty God should be blessed that it gives us Udion Tliso, a triple light, a triple illumination, a triple teaching. And then it says more than that. It says Le'amot Liso, to a nation that is triple. Keanim Levim Yisraelim. Number 1, the Torah is 3. The Jewish people are 3. Al Yedeit Liso, Moshe Rabbeinu was the 3rd. Beyemat Liso, Bayem HaShlishi. Beyalchot Liso, on the 3rd month. Nisan Iyar Sivan. And the Rebbe brings that the Rabbeinu Nisim says there are many other good things that are 3. Like the Ovis are 3. Like Sholish the Golim are 3. So Sholish is a very good thing. And it stands for prominent thing, where it says in Bava Metzia, but lost Zimne have a chazoke. 3 times If something that is in number of 3, that symbolizes that there is a degree of permanence here. That it's not just happening, it's permanence. So these 3 weeks, although it's 3 weeks of mourning, but there's the number 3 hidden there, are wonderful things that are concealed. To that, the Rebbe says, let's not forget that the number 21 is a good number. It's ach tev Yisrael. So you have the number 21 as well. You have the 3 weeks, which symbolizes for the symbol of good, and you have tev. Moreover, the Rebbe brings that there's another 3 that looms at us and smiles to us in the background. And what's that number 3? What's that smiling number 3? That's the Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi. The number 3. The first Beit HaMikdash were Cholev. And the Zohar says they were Cholev because the first Beis HaMikdash was Binyono de Balanash, was the structure of man. The structure of man was destroyed. The second one was a little longer, but it was still the structure of man, and it was indeed destroyed. The third Beis HaMikdash is Binyono de Kutsha Berichu. Mikdash Aleph Dalet Nun Yud Kenen Yodecha, something Almighty God made with His own hands. And that is going to be an everlasting edifice. The Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi smiling at us in the background. And we know, Rabbi said, that every year that smile becomes more intense because we're getting closer and closer and closer. And from what the Rebbe told us, we're the last generation of Golus and the first generation of Geulu. And that was so many years ago. So with every passing year, with another Gimel Tammuz, we know we are getting closer to that Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi. The Rebbe also brings from the Tzemach Tzedek. The Tzemach Tzedek writes in his Rishimis that there is the concept, he writes it in Megillah Seichel of the Tzemach Tzedek, the Rishimis on Megillah Seichel, that there is Eichel la'aliyos. Aliyos means advantages, elevations. In other words, he takes all the psukim that look to us to be negative, that they are actually positive. And there's a posuk in Eichel, that scroll of lamentation that we say while we're sitting on the floor, mourning and weeping. And what does it say there? Which means all those who chased her, found her, and reached her. That's not a compliment. And it's not good news for the Jewish people. Comes the Tzemach Tzedek and he says, let's analyze the posuk. Kol leitfeho. Leitfeho means those who were seeking her, those who were chasing her. Does this leitfeho ring a bell? Do you know a similar expression of the difo of leitfeho? Says the Tzemach Tzedek, you don't have to go far. You find it in Tillim. Psalm 23. Achtei v'chesed yirdefuni kol yemei chayai. Only goodness. Tev is good, chesed is benevolence. Should always pursue me. So it's the same yirdefuho. And this comes min ha'meitzel ha'elyon, from the upper straits. Something that we don't even know what it is. But we know this is something that nothing bad can reach there. So this is an appropriation that comes to us min ha'meitzel ha'elyon, from the upper straits, that comes straight to the Jew this time of the year. The achtei v'chesed yildefuni, called the leitfeho. When is it going to reach us? Bein hamsolim, between the straits. Min ha'meitzel ha'elyon, an appropriation that comes from the upper straits, from God Himself. So therefore, when is that happening? In these 3 weeks that started the Shabbos. Now this is every year. But this year it's different. Shivos B'Tammuz is Shabbos. What does the Rebbe say about that? I must tell you, friends, leave it up to our Rebbe. And he will tell you how everything is positive and where he sees in everything the positive side. And this is the specialty of the Rebbe when he switched around. Where in everything negative, the Rebbe saw the positive. And now in this Shivasa B'Tammuz, he saw the positive 2 times. First of what we said before. And then it's on Shabbos. Shabbos means that's itche, that's pushed away. In other words, there is an element here that the tonus has been pushed away. And once it's pushed away, it can be pushed away completely. So therefore, especially in a year like this, where the tonus of Shivasa B'Tammuz and the tonus of Tisha B'Av has been pushed away. Given the itche. Once it was pushed away, it should be pushed away forever. This is our chance this year. So there are many in this difficult time in which we are. Comes the Rebbe and shows us the positive things in this situation. That every Jew says that this is the time where he's going to, Almighty God will make sure that the good things, the Tev and the Chesed, will reach him. And as the Rambam says at the end of Hilchos Tainiyos, Kol HaMe'adim B'Telim, all the festivals are going to be, and also the days of fasting will be B'Telim. The days of fasting will be annulled. And not only that, says the Rambam, not only will they be annulled, Yehovchu, they are going to be transformed. The days of Yom Tov and festivity. Shene'emar, the 4 days, Tzem HaRvi, V'Tzem HaChamishi, V'Tzem HaShvi, V'Tzem HaAsiri. The fast of the 4th month, Shivasa B'Tammuz. The fast of the 5th month, Tisha B'Av. The fast of the 7th month, in Tishrei. Same Gedalia, the fast of the 10th month. We know when what that is. In the month of Tevis, Asor B'Tevis, Yehovchu l'sosein ul simcha ul me'adim tevim, will be transformed. L'sosein means joy, it means happiness, or joy. Simcha means happiness, we know what simcha means. Me'adim tevim, days of festivity. Speedily, friends, in our very own days. ובעגולו דידן ובשמחו ובטוב ליבו ובטבע ניר והניגלה ולמטה מעשור הטפוחים ובחסד וברחמים ותקף ומיד ממש.